It seems like every time I get on these freaking lives, I'm always laughing when it's people that I know.
Ooh, right.
This is
Let's be
crazy.
serious. Let's be
That part.
serious.
Bring it in. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the final live for the January 8th event in Houston, positioning yourself, leadership, legacy, law, and what
Logistics.
logistics. How am I forgetting my part? See, this is what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Anyway, hello. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Sheila King. I am the owner and founder of the 501c3 nonprofit organization called Eliminating Excuses. And today I have another gem, y'all. I'm so excited to have the Melissa Lee West here on the line with it for Legacy. Melissa, please share with the people who you are, what you do, just a little brief, and then we go into all this fun that you're going to bring to us on January 8th in Houston.
Okay. Other than being silly, just like you, my name is Melissa Lee West. And first of all, today is my dad's birthday, y'all. So happy heavenly birthday to my daddy. Y'all know I'm a daddy's
Happy
girl.
birthday, Daddy.
Woohoo! Okay, and so really that's why I really want to do this today. And the name of my business is Fit for Legacy on Purpose. I'm a daddy's girl. I'm all about things legacy. When he prematurely left this earth, there were a lot of things that were left in my mind undone, unanswered, and unaccounted for. And
Mm-hmm.
that's really why I started my business, Fit for Legacy. So, what do? I help breadwinners, business owners, family leaders make sure they can answer that question: what's next and who's next when it comes to building that legacy and being fit for legacy, being prepared. That's what I do. I provide life insurance services, I provide legacy and succession planning, and also help with estate planning. So that's me, and that's what I do.
Yay! Okay, so one of the things that I think about when we talk about legacy, uh, a lot of people think about once you're dead, right?
Mhm.
And everybody's always about get that insurance because you don't want people, and it's so fear based about what happens when you're gone, and we don't want to give them too much because we want them in the room
Right.
On Sunday. But what nuggets can you provide for people that are talking about only death as it relates to legacy? We got to make sure that you got that good insurance policy so you leaving all your kids $1 million, so they can live good after you're dead, like, but you here.
Right,
So
right.
it's
Exactly,
like,
exactly. Yeah, so I like to talk about a living legacy, right? Yes, life insurance is a part of it, but there's also many types of life insurance. There's life insurance that helps you make sure that your family is not left in debt and despair when you're gone, but there's also that life insurance that's strategic. I actually just recently helped someone with a policy where they were able to plan for when their son, if he wants to graduate high school and start a business, if he wants to graduate high school and go to college, she's got some cash value built up specifically for that purpose. That's a living legacy. There's so many different things you can do when you start talking about legacy planning. So, yes, you want to make sure you're thinking about what if when you're gone, but also what now? What's that family vision? What are the if there are children working with you in your business, what are their strengths? What are the things that they want to go on to do? How can you start planning for that now? How can you cultivate that now so that you can go on vacation for 30 days and know your business is still running, so that
period.
they are not stuck in a 9 to 5 job. They're not stuck in the rat race. They're not stuck just like many who just got laid off from all these big companies,
Yes.
wondering what to do next, right? So that living legacy, it's not just one time thing. It's not just one document. It's not just life insurance. Yes, it includes that, but it's having those critical conversations ongoing at least once a year to make sure that you're creating a living legacy plan.
Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned that those critical conversations because we always talk about those conversations that need to be had that aren't had. And
Mhm.
so help the people so what conversations will we have around what conversations should be had, right? Like, are there specific conversations that, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know, right? And
Mhm.
so sometimes, like when we started, the conversation is, what do you want to do? You want to be cremated or you want to be buried? Like,
And that goes straight into fear. That goes straight into fear,
yes.
right?
And they're like, I don't know to ask anything else. It's like, what
Right,
do you want? Do you
right,
want a cream casket or do you want a
right.
black one? Like,
You want oak or cherry, right?
listen.
But depending on the generation, if you're talking to our parents' age or older, they might freeze
Hmm.
up, right? They may freeze up,
Yes,
like they don't even want to talk about it,
correct.
right? And so, so those conversations, I like to say, center around three areas. The money, the
Hmm.
medical, and then just that bloodline. Those are three things. Again, using my dad as an example, he wasn't sick. He died suddenly, right? So he's 48 years old. I'm thinking he's going to walk me down the aisle. I'm thinking he's going to meet his grandkids and all these good things, right? And then no, he suddenly passed away. And he did have life insurance, thank God. We didn't have the
Mm.
financial stress. So I was able to go off and do a semester in Spain. I was able to finish college. We didn't have to just scramble and make, quick financial decisions because he had life insurance. But what he didn't have is those conversations with us, in a way that I could really just tap into them
Yeah,
when he
process.
passed away,
Hmm.
right? So the money, right? I knew my dad was an investor. I knew he had investments everywhere. However, how
Did
could we
nobody else?
find them? We didn't know. So my uncle was like, I know your daddy had some investments. I know. And I'm like, well, uncle, you didn't tell me, and
Where
he
the
didn't
papers?
tell me.
Where the
Exactly.
papers?
So over the years, I had to go through like a whole treasure hunt to try to figure out what I could
Mm.
find and what I could prove, right? So the money, the bank accounts, the access, having a trust. A trust is better than a will. I'll talk more about that later in a
On the
different
8th.
day on the 8th. But where's the money? The medical again. My dad wasn't sick. So we didn't know. Was there something that we didn't know about in the family medical history that we should have been checking for? Is there something he could have done to prevent?
Hmm.
We didn't know, right?
Yeah.
And then finally, like I said, the bloodline. I love a good family tree. And once my daddy died, I found all kind of documents from my great grandma who they had a gas company run a pipeline through our land. We didn't get paid for that, right? So the
Wow.
bloodline, where are those conversations? Who's related to who? Who are the cousins? Who are the uncles? Who are the maybe babies? I
Because
want
they
all of
come
them.
out.
They
They
come
come
out.
out.
They come out when people die. Have
Yes.
those conversations. Forget the shame. Forget, that old um, habit of having so many secrets. I always say secrets strangle families. Have those
Hmm.
conversations. So the money, the medical, the bloodline, those are three places to start.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for that. Now,
Mhm,
my other question is around business
mhm.
and protection. Like, I think a lot of time, even when we partner with other people in business, not really knowing, because so one of the things I do a lot with a lot of my clients, and Melissa, it is so funny. I will see notifications that come through that says you're a contact for this, and I'm sitting here like, okay, well, Melissa didn't sign me
For something else.
but it's interesting because it gives me the mindset to even have those questions and find out what to ask too, right? So it's like, what kind of things will you discuss on the 8th surrounding business protection and your legacy as it relates to that? Because even as it relates even to the Facebook, like, because people see that stuff. I've seen notifications about, do you want to secure your Facebook account or say what's going to happen if something happened in your untimely passing? And I'm like, no, it's Facebook. Keep scrolling. But the more I do and the more I expand even in business and then the more I see when there are sudden deaths out here, what people are doing to certain aspects of other people's lives, including social media,
Mhm.
it's like the more you realize how you need to be protected in a whole lot of areas. So help us to understand what you will be discussing as it relates to business protection, whether it's partnerships and whether it's if something happened to you, what happens to your business, the different types of businesses, if you decide to break it down, whether it's a nonprofit, LLC, whatever. Like, what do you plan to discuss then?
So in business, I always say, just like in life, you got to have the conversations. You have to have the proper documents and the proper tools. So those conversations, if something were to happen to me today, I already have documentation that says one of my siblings who are part of my trust could step in, hire a replacement for me, do what they need to do to keep the family business going. That's documented. That's also financed by a tool, life insurance, right? I have proper
Mm-hmm.
key person insurance that says there won't be a financial vacuum if something happens to me, even if I don't die.
Wow.
I have life insurance with living benefits. I don't have to die for this to happen, but if something were to happen, God forbid, where I need to take a time away for medical reasons, I have life insurance that I can tap into as a living benefit so that, again, that business can continue to operate. And
Listen.
I'm sorry, that's my
No, you're
reminder not to
fine.
talk too long. And
That
then
part.
and then also succession planning. So when we have our annual meetings, everything's documented. Whatever when we make a financial decision, it's documented. There's a quick board meeting
Mm,
that we made a decision. This was, whether it's a loan that we took out or whether it's a investment that we're considering, that's our next step. That's documented. So nobody has to wonder what was in my head. Nobody has to wonder what was
that's
the
good.
plan. Nobody has to wonder what the next step is. And again, the other leaders that you're bringing on the 8th, it all ties in, whether you're talking about your logistics, protecting your intellectual property, or whether you're talking about your leadership style, your leadership strategy, your leadership planning, all that needs to be documented in an easily accessible place,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So that's what I would
That
say for
easily.
business.
Ooh, that
Easily
easily is.
accessible.
And one of the things I know you talk about too is the levels of, like, I was doing some type of test and it was talking about what happens if the person, I designate Melissa as my beneficiary, but something happens to Melissa before me. And it's like, do you even
The
know?
contingent. That's right.
Yes. And there are
Yes.
so many different aspects to it. And I feel like so many people need to hear this, and people are always so quick to disregard life insurance, or, like I said, minimize it because it's only life. We only think about the death aspect of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You talk about, go ahead, what was you about to say?
I was just going to say, when you think about, the families that are the wealthy families, love them, like them. I love them because I want to be wealthy as well.
Period.
When you think about that, this is what they did. They were strategic. And it's not just money, money is a part of it, but they were strategic in their decision making. They were strategic. They are strategic in how they plan for the inevitable thing we call life, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we going back to whether it's family or your business in your trust document. Like for my trust, I have grandkids now. I have 9 million godkids and I got
That
stepkids.
period.
There are stipulations. So at a certain age, they can get X amount of money if they meet certain criteria. What's that criteria? Number of hours of volunteer work. They have to be either actively employed or they have to be a student. They can't just get the money. We always hear
We,
trust fund babies. No. In our culture, community is key, right? So that's built into my
oh,
trust documentation. They can't just get a check. They have to be making sure they're contributing back to the fabric of our community, back to the
oh,
fabric of our core legacy plan. So that's in the trust document. So again, that's a living legacy. As things change, God forbid one of them to go off and make some bad decisions, then they'll
uh-huh,
be even more protected until they go through some type of rehabilitation type of scenario. So
right.
again, that's strategic, and that doesn't just happen when you pass away, right?
So you literally can do that for everything.
You can do that for everything.
I didn't even realize that you can put that those many stipulations
hmm
on.
hmm
I thought that was just in the movies.
No, no, and they always say art imitates life. So even in the movies, that's what you would see, right? I can't get my money until I'm 18, or I can't get my money until I'm 25. So in my trust, I have built-in intervals. They can get money at certain ages or at different life events, right? To
Yes,
buy a new home or a new baby or college, start a business. There are certain exceptions, but again, they have to get that money, and that's also a community decision. My trustees, my family,
yes.
and I have 2 trusted friends in there who know me and know me well. So there's not going to be one person who makes that final decision.
Oh my God. Okay. So if you can, oh my God. Oh, I was about to ask some more questions, but that's I'm gonna ask you on Sunday,
Okay,
January,
on the 8th.
because because it's so many different things that you don't really think about
Mhm,
until you're actually having the conversation. And I think that's
mhm,
what's important because, like I said earlier, you don't know what you don't know.
mhm.
And you just talking then opened up 12 different areas that I didn't even think about that I need to have because my children automatically assume, girl, you should hear your nieces. That Kiana was like, I'm the oldest, so I'm gonna be the one if anything happened to mom. And it's like, who told you that? Like,
Right,
and
right,
I even think
right.
about my family, like I have a brother and sister older and a brother and sister younger, but who's to say that they will be the ones that my parents have put in the wheel to make the decisions
Mhm.
over? You know what?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you
If
got
you
you write those questions down, send them to me for Sunday as well.
Yeah.
But you have to think about that. You know, a lot of things typically, like you said, fall on the oldest, or like
Mhm.
me, the only girl, the middle child.
Yeah.
Everything fell to me. So you better have some money in there for therapy too, because whoever is doing it is gonna need is gonna need some
That part.
therapy. Because being a caregiver is totally different. When my dad passed away suddenly, I got thrust into a caregiver role, right? I wasn't ready to
Mhm.
parent my parent. So emotionally, I had to, make some adjustments. What I would
Yes.
have loved was to be able to take off 2 years of work, right? And just
That
focus
part.
on preparing for that and not have to worry about finances, things like that,
Yeah.
things we don't talk about. So more to come on the 8th.
If you could leave the people with one thing or two, whatever, to get them in the room Sunday, like what could you help people to understand why it's so important to be in the room to understand about legacy?
I would just say every decision that we make, even though we don't admit it, it's an emotional decision. When you pass away, your family's going to make emotional decisions. When your business changes, it's going to be some emotion involved in that. Get in the room on Sunday so that you can go ahead and get the emotional part out of the way so you can make some logical steps to preparing for your living legacy.
Come on, MLW. I love it. Tell the people how to reach you.
You can find me on all platforms at Fit for Legacy, just like on the screen. Fit for Legacy on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok just yet, but and also LinkedIn, Fit for Legacy, FITFORLEGACY. That's me.
Y'all see that R? Y'all see that R next to that fit
And
for?
it's a registered
Period.
trademark. Come on, it's a registered
Period.
trademark
I need to go ahead. I don't even
protected
know.
by the illustrious Michelle Miller, who's also
J.
going to be
Mello.
speaking on
Period.
Sunday.
Yes, because we protect the brands out here. I know mine is
That's
in
right.
my logo, my actual logo, but I'm gonna start.
It
I'm gonna put
is.
mine in my words that because I ain't even think about that.
Yes,
And just a small other plug. She got the smart back office too, y'all.
I do.
So so
That's the
so
business
that's gonna
part.
be
We'll
a
go into details on Sunday.
because
Yep.
that's the piece of logistics that she be bringing in when we partner together because y'all out here doing a whole lot of stuff manually and
Easily accessible.
she got that good old man. Melissa be finagling with this technology and stuff. She's just a gem and a jewel in that. But we'll talk about the smart back office too because y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. Sis, thank you so much for
You're
taking this
welcome.
time out. Oh
Woo.
my God, it's always fun and it's gonna be even more fun Sunday. Y'all get in the room. We still have a limited space and we have some tickets available, but you all need to be in the room. Every single speaker, including myself. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what y'all need. I might go live Saturday. I don't know. But logistics, leadership, legacy, and law, we will all be talking about things that you'll need to make sure you're better positioned for this year of our good Lord 2023. You can follow me on Instagram at eliminating excuses underscore the brand, as well as on Facebook on eliminating excuses. You all remember your response is always your responsibility. Nope, make it a great day. Talk to you later. Thank you again, sis.
Bye.